What's up, Bronco Nation? I'm Evan Sanford, and today I'm joined by Chase Glorfield and Carter Davis, and we are the Bronco Country Roundup.
Oh,
Hey.
that was
Ooh,
synchronous. Nice.
we're cooking already, boys. All right. Well, happy Easter, Bronco Nation. Go paint an egg and sit down. Listen to us talk some Boise State football. We have the spring game today. Carter's going to tell us all about that. We got a little housekeeping to talk about. To kick us off today, some fun news coming from the tennis team. Actually, they won the Mountain West, so heck yeah, well done.
This conference sucks. We keep winning it. We need the better stuff. I'm sorry.
So go pay attention whenever their next match is. Follow them on Twitter, Instagram. Go check out a match next time you can. Give them.
I don't know, man.
support.
It's a nice spring day outside. You bring a picnic and sit there and watch some tennis. That's not a bad way to spend a Saturday.
And the stands, I guess, for use of a better word, those are pretty nice. They're right there on campus. It's
Pretty good little tennis facility for sure.
Yeah, go check it out if you have time on the weekend. It's spring in Boise.
Yeah, I get tagged by a random tennis account on X.
Oh yeah, me too.
They've won like 13 matches in a row. Like they're good too. Like they won a Mountain West and they are on a good streak. So if you like,
they had clinched to share the title coming into today, but then they wrapped up at solo winning today. So
yeah, so bravo to the tennis team, repping the blue and orange in the springtime. And then, of course, the softball team is doing quite well. I try and keep up with them. But, of course, that season's not quite over yet. Moving on, because basketball, they've got a few new commits. Chase, tell us about it.
Yes, they do. So let's see here. A couple weeks ago, they got a transfer from Georgetown, Drew Fielder. He actually went to Rocky Mountain High School for at least some of his high school career. From what I understand,
hometown kid.
Meridian. Transfer in from Georgetown. He's a 7-footer. He's a big kid. So that'll be, get some replacement for Omar Stanley and maybe some of the bigger guys down low. And then recently there's a Dylan Andrews, point guard. Transfer from UCLA is where he came from. I'm excited about him. I read that one of the things that inspired him to come to Boise State was how the Broncos used Alvaro Cardenas, the Spanish point guard who's graduating. So we'll have him for a couple years, I believe. And then the other guy, the Canadian sharpshooter, Spencer Ahrens, I believe is how you say his name, Ahrens. 6'8". He just won like some 3-point shooting contest. They had like for high school players. I'm sorry, I don't know what Canadian basketball prep basketball looks like up there, but he was a big get and he committed to Boise State. And then when he stuck to that commitment,
pun intended, right?
Yeah, absolutely. 6'8" dude shooting threes, man. That's stretch forward, right? I guess you want to call him. Can play down low, but can also pop out and make you pay for it. So 3 big players that Boise State has added, 2 that could have some impact immediately. You never know. Spencer Ahrens could get some playing time, like oh my gosh, Pearson Carmichael did this year as a true freshman. So we'll see. Exciting times. With
the basketball team, this kind of transfer portal era is going to be kind of fun in a way because it's basically free agency. It's all like it feels like 1-year contracts anyway. Like you got the one and dones that go to the NBA anyway. But you basically get to rebuild your entire starting lineup every single season. So.
And Leon Rice has done a good job with the transfer portal, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of hits, a couple of misses every now, but that's transfer portal life. But they've done a good job bringing people in. Yeah, absolutely.
And when you get a team that clicks and that meshes, you bring in that right guy, it's going to be fun. Like maybe this time next year, we're talking about their first wins in the tournament. So who knows?
Fingers crossed.
Stay tuned. All right, moving on. A little bit of housekeeping. So we, speaking of basketball, we made our bracket group and we have tried to reach out to the winner, Bronco Jimmy. Is that his name?
That was the old one. Sorry, I don't want to show that. Yeah, Bronco Jimmy. I think he's on there. Yeah, he's right there. He's the 3rd place. So this is an old one before. I think this was going into the Final Four. He ended up winning. I've messaged him a couple times trying to get a hold of him. Haven't heard back. So Bronco Jimmy, if you're watching this, if you're listening, email us broncocountryroundup@gmail.com and we'll set something up. We want to get you a few minutes here on the podcast. We kind of want to get that going pretty quick. And if we can't get a hold of you, or if you don't want to, if it doesn't work out, we'll go to our second place guy, which was, let me look at his name here. Scott Peter. I assume that means like Peterson, but he's our second place guy. So we want to give out some rewards here for the people that earned them.
Yeah, exactly. And it'd be fun. Even you can record something or tell us how stupid we are, like whatever.
Damn.
Have a little Schadenfreude.
There you go.
Hold on, I don't want that coming at me. No. Don't come on here and insult me. You can insult these two. I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, either way, we'd love to have you. It'd be a real blast. So please, if you know Jimmy, hit him up and be like, hey, the Bronco Country crew is looking for him. So get back to us. Moving on, though, we've got a little bit of recruiting news. The transfer portal giveth and the transfer portal taketh away.
Indeed.
So we're not breaking any news by now. Unless you're living under a rock, you heard about Andrew Simpson, who I think we touched on in our last podcast. He has since set up a visit with USC, from what I've seen. Braxton Feely, who has gone down to Cal, and JFR. He's gone. Now, at least from what we gather, Braxton and Andrew, they're both in their final year of eligibility. This seems more like a NIL move.
Get a little bit of money before you are done. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, get a little money, and you know what? All the power to them. But it's for much of Bronco Nation, it's left a bitter taste in the mouth a little bit, because these are guys who have been around for quite a while, been developed on the blue, about to be starters, and then more or less, I don't want to say bailing, but taken off for greener pastures, literally and figuratively. So we thought we'd maybe dip our toe, give our thoughts on this a little bit, because the real reason you guys are here to hear about the spring game. So we don't want to spend too much time on this. It's already a kind of a sore topic anyway. But we thought we'd have a group therapy session. Maybe it'd be, and maybe it's therapeutic for you. So Chase, I'll start with you. How you feel about this whole like NIL situation that we're in, just college football as a whole? You've got the Tennessee kid, you've got our guys leaving. Like, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, kind of mixed feelings for me. I like the idea of NIL, like people who have a marketable skill set, right?
Absolutely.
And forever they couldn't do anything with it except be someone else's product to put out onto the field or the court, depending on the sport. And so now, if we think of them as employees, which is kind of, I'm okay with calling them employees, right? Give them a little bit of money, give them, what they're worth. But unlike regular employee situations and employers, it's not regulated hardly at all, right? You fill out a questionnaire, send it to your school. If school approves you, you hit this portal that has thousands of kids in it. And some of them are going to sit there and never leave the portal. You're lost in the nether, I guess. I don't know where they go if they don't ever leave the portal. But and some are leaving for the money, right? The greener pastures, the whatever you want to call it. And so when it's not regulated, the NCAA has said, like, oh, we're going to let states decide. We're going to let each individual state decide what they want to do. Like, what does that look like? Oh, we can't recruit these guys from the transfer portal with money, but we're going to recruit them with money. We got the boosters, right? It's dirty. It's not regulated. So you have people like Braxton Feely, who, played some solid minutes at Boise State, had some good plays. Moving on to Cal, who's, I don't know how much they're going to pay him, but he's going to get some money. Andrew Simpson's going to get some money. JFR, I don't know. It's crazy that a punter could command some sort of dollar figure on the portal, but it's probably going to happen. So if they're employees, that's great, but there needs to be more regulation, whether it's the NCAA, whether legislation somewhere steps in, I don't know, but it needs to have some guardrails, as it were, so that it's not this ridiculous free for all, or this school didn't pay me what they told me they were going to, so I'm leaving at a horrible time, or not a great, whatever it is. It's not a good situation for the athlete when people are telling them, go get that money. It's not a good situation for the schools. And the NCAA is going full Pontius Pilate. Hey, speaking of Easter, the biblical reference here. Oh, we're washing our hands of this. Nothing. You guys decide. It's up to you. It just doesn't work out.
Yeah. And well said, Chase. As always, you are the actual journalist amongst us. So very well said.
Thanks.
Lending credibility.
There we go.
However
much that is.
Karter, any thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think I can add much different from what Chase said, but I think I liked the idea of NIL at the beginning, but I always thought it was going to be more incentive based. Win a game, you get this amount of money. Oh, you win Player of the Year, you get this amount of money. Kind of like bonuses coaches gets or something like that. To see that it's gotten to the point that there's reports that this Nico kid from Tennessee was trying to hold out from a playoff game to get more money. Like, this isn't free agency NFL. Like, these guys can be employees, but it's employees of the university, not of the NFL. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just sick to see that college football has gotten worse than the NFL, because with the NFL, they have guardrails. It's like, okay, it is a business. Either college football is a business or it isn't. So there needs to be guardrails. There needs to be some sort of cap limit, and there needs to be some sort of way to stop kids from basically holding universities hostage. Can you imagine if Ashton Genty going into the playoff game was like, hey, I need $1 million right now or I'm not going to play? Like, Boise State can't do that. And imagine any other Group of 5 school, or imagine if Tennessee was dealt with that. I know they lost their playoff game, but how much worse would they have lost if Nico sat out? So it's just disgusting. I was okay with it, but it's just gotten too far. Also, Braxton Feely leaving makes no sense. I think it's purely money. Andrew Simpson leaving, purely money. Anybody who might be thinking that there's a culture problem in the locker room, I don't think that's a very major thought. There might be some weirdos out there thinking it, but just in case, I don't think that's it.
No.
I think those two just wanted some cash.
Well, and Karter, sorry to step in here again, but Karter, you're right. Like, there's not a program culture situation problem. Ashton Genty was just a rare human being to do what he did. You are not going to see that ever again. Maybe. Very rarely. Yeah. So the fact that these other guys are leaving, like, it shouldn't be surprising, but it kind of feels like it just because Genty is who he is.
Yeah. I mean, I took a pay cut to go to my job, just saying. Anyways. Really all I can add is just purely the irrational fan perspective. And so someone else wrote this more eloquently than me, so this is not my thought or tweet. I'm not going to name this person because I don't know if they would want it necessarily on the podcast, but
this was a good post, though. This was a good one.
I heavily compliment this person because I think it's a really good thought. And so the quote is, "We can't invest emotionally, but we're being asked to invest more than ever financially, which does not feel like a great combination for fans." And so nothing controversial in there. That's just the honest truth of it. And I really like the way that person phrased that, because it feels like there's more demand on us, the average everyday fan, to like, hey, buy my NIL shirt or whatever. But where's the return on investment? Like, we do all that, we donate to these causes, and then the players bail anyway. So it's like, what kind of guardrails are there? What is the incentive for the fan base to now get emotionally invested? Like that, because that was the fun part.
Yeah.
I think the incentive is just to get emotionally invested in the university and the team overall. Getting invested.
Dickey's done a good job with that.
Since he has.
I agree.
Yeah, and sure. I think getting invested into Ashton Genty was easy because we knew he was going to leave after junior year, and we knew he was a stand-up guy, and he was a Heisman finalist. But getting invested to the point of college kids, regular people on the team, regular stars. I mean, yeah, I totally get what that guy saying. There's really no reason to. I think the remedy is just be emotionally invested in the team. You
Yep.
know, to be emotionally invested in Danielson, in Dickey, in the results overall. Because like when they get to the NFL, yeah, you can be invested. I'm going to be invested in Ashton specifically. Wherever he goes, I'm not going to care about the team. I'm going to care about him specifically. But Boise State, that's what I care about. I don't care about Andrew Simpson, the player. I care about the defense. I don't care about
good point.
Braxton.
That's a very good
see
point.
this end zone project being worked on, and does that not give you like a sense of pride that like
exactly?
Hey,
Absolutely.
that whatever financial thing I've given to the university, whether it was my $10 or someone's millions of dollars on that.
Yeah, that's where it's going.
You
that
see that, and that's exciting. That does give you a sense of pride. So you're right, Karter. There's been they're asking us to invest in the program and the players, but really as a school, as a football program, as an athletic department in general. That's a great point.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go about it, because you're just not going to get the type of player to always be that invested in a Jeanty, a Kellen Moore, that type of thing. But all the money that's been donated is going directly to that north end zone. It's going to go to the East Side Stadium. It's going to go to NIL so we can get better players to make the program better. We don't have to be dedicated to all these transfers. They just have to be dedicated to the program to make it better.
Yeah. Yep. I love you guys. Good therapy session.
That's
good.
Hey, if you have any comments, where's that? Where am I?
Yeah. Drop them down below. I think honestly, this is what the most jaded of us need to hear, because I was getting texts all throughout, like as everyone was transferring, people were venting to me just through text and online and everything. It's like us three talking about that. Everyone is talking about this outside of the Boise State fan base, just college football at large is at a bit of a crossroads here. So if there's if you're a fan of a college football team, as Karter said, invest in the school, not the players. Invest in the program at large. That's all, because that's all you've got. That's all you can cling to. And that really should be enough, because at the end of the day, players come and go, but your university, your alma mater, that's always going to be there. It's always going to be a big chunk of your identity, hopefully in a positive way. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Moving on, though, because we do have some nice news to talk about with recruiting, because Boise State landed a quarterback. It's funny, the last time us three got together, we're talking about why they can't get a quarterback, and then they finally got one.
You mean this kid?
That kid. Which I miss. Oh my goodness, I made a bit of a flub up today, and he liked it. So I retweeted his commitment. I was like, oh my goodness, we got another Oregon Beaver, but he's from California. There's another kid we were recruiting from Oregon. And I was like, oh no.
Whoops. That's all right.
I just got way too excited. Bryson Bieber, he's from Murrieta Vista High School down there in whatever part of California that is.
Murrieta.
Same high school that Hank Bachmeyer went to. Kid has got good tape. Check it out. Chase, Karter, have you guys seen his tape?
I haven't. I heard that it was good. I heard one of the Bronco insiders, a coach in California, said that his tape was better than Jackson Presley, so I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah, that poster you're talking about, what was his name? Bronco 28. I'm trying to remember what his name was. He coaches down in Temecula, California, I think, and he goes around and takes a bunch of kids to camps. He brings some kids up to Boise State and other places, and he sees a lot of those Southern California kids play and knows a lot about them, has a lot of connections, and he's very high on Bryson Bieber. And what that guy says, he's very knowledgeable. He's a very reliable guy to get information from. And looking at the tape, he's 6'3", 195 right now. He may grow an inch or two senior year, put on some pounds. Like once he gets to do a good weight and nutrition program, he looks good, and he plays against some tons of D1 prospects every week down in Southern California. He plays in a top league. So it's exciting. It's nice to it's never nice to lose a recruit, but it's nice that it was early enough for us to snag a really good guy who is still available, as opposed to Zach Wilsoning us in the last minute. So
Yeah, that's that day that will live in infamy.
Mhm.
So then we also got Jax Tanner. He announced his top 10. Boise State is in it. Rocky Mountain kid.
Yep.
So stay tuned on his commitment. No date on when we expect him to commit or not, but
And our friend Kevin Rafter, who's our wonderful boss, right? He's teased some things in the corral about some more good news coming. So
oh,
get in the corral and check it out. We'll see what happens.
excellent. You know what? I have not seen that. I've been busy today. It's been we celebrated Easter today as a family, so I have not seen that. So
Yep.
thank
Some more
you.
news
Good
coming down the
news.
pipe.
Yeah, the corral is where you get your hot goss these days, guys.
Absolutely.
So like if you like the gossip, go get it. All right, and then Terrius Favors, Boise State commit. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. He got an offer from the University of Georgia. So deep breath. Nothing's happened, but typically in these scenarios, no news is good news. But that's a hard thing to look down the nose of, like hometown school offering you. So whichever way he goes, if he stays with us, if he decides to stay home, then wish him nothing but the best. But certainly hope he decides to stick with it. But either way, stay tuned. No news is good news on that matter. But now we've dithered long enough. We'll get to the main event.
The meat and potatoes, as it were.
Yeah.
Yes. Karter was at the spring game today. And from what I've heard, it was actually quite the day. So Karter,
It was a good time.
tell us like the blue, the construction, how did it feel? And then we'll get into the game.
Yeah. So, first and foremost, I was up in a suite level, so any sort of depth description you're not going to get from me, especially on defense. Those orange jerseys were impossible to see numbers, but I got a great view of the construction. It's going well. They had the crane going the whole time. Guys were putting steel in.
The backup beeps as it was moving around. And...
Well, it wasn't doing that, but it was clicking. There was some loud metal clank that it kept happening over and over again as it was spinning. And there was guys putting steel in as the game was going on. So they're not taking a break. They're going. So that was cool to see. It was a beautiful view. It was great to see the team on the field. I just had a great time. I actually think the attendance this year would rival and might not, maybe even more than last year's. It was pretty full, at least the lower level. It looked pretty full.
How many Kibby domes could we fill up with that?
Probably 10. I mean, that the Kibby Dome only holds probably a few hundred. I imagine that thing is just a trash can.
You know what we never talked about is what kind of a year, like last year, would have on what effect would it have on the Treasure Valley as a whole with all the new residents in Boise who may or may not have any sort of affiliation to the school. Like you see a lot of like flags or bumper stickers in Boise in the Treasure Valley for other schools, but it's hard to ignore when your local team is doing well. So how many new fans got brought in last season?
I imagine a good amount, and from what I kind of know about the spring game, Dickey tried to make it more of an event. I heard there was like some competitions, like best tailgate. There was a lot of cars in the parking lot. That surprised me the most. When I showed up, the whole front entrance, like before you go over by like Extra Mile Arena, that whole front entrance was full of cars.
Ahmed Hassanein was down there signing autographs on the field. I saw.
Yeah,
it
so
was like an event.
Yeah, I think Dickey and them are making this more of an event. It was awesome to see, but I'll stop hiding the ball. So I came away with 10 takeaways, 5 for the offense, 5 for the defense.
Nice.
Watching this game. Also special teams. I'll get that out of the way now. Someone on the corral was talking about kickers missing multiple field goals. I truly don't know what they're talking about. Every kick that I saw, a kicker made, especially Jarrett Reeser or something like that. I believe he's going to be our starting kicker, but I could have missed something. I don't know. There was times I went to check on my baby with my wife, but I don't know. So they were concerned about special teams. I'm not concerned about it. I didn't see any punting really.
Sidebar. So you said Reeser is going to, it looks like he's slated to be the starter.
I saw him hit kicks. Colton Boomer could have been kicking. They really didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't see much.
Well, we did that. That's what I was going to ask about. They brought in Boomer. How many years of eligibility does he have?
He has 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he has
I
2.
only heard Reeser, but then again, as we'll see, it was a lot of secondary, second and third string guys. So I mean, Boomer could have made some kicks. I mean, I don't know, but to be worried about special teams in a spring game, I mean, they didn't even have offensive line and defensive line in front of him. It was more of a practice kick.
Yeah.
So anybody worried about special teams, don't worry about it. But so going into the offense first, my first key from this spring game is that Caleb Annett is going to be quarterback number 2. He looked awesome. His throwing mechanism looked great. He was making good decisions, except the very first play of 7-on-7 before the spring game even started, he got picked off. So
I saw some digital eye rolls on
yeah,
X.
and I tweeted that, and I was like, we're off to a great start. And after that, he had a solid game. I really think this game he cemented himself as QB2. Max Cutforth just didn't seem to have the juice. So I think Annett is going to be QB2. Second takeaway for the offense is that Malik Sherrod was the offensive MVP.
Ooh.
He was fantastic.
The clips I saw, he looked good.
He
was jittery.
Great.
He was decisive. He was cutting. Yeah, it was.
He had a 65-yard touchdown that was Genty-ish in a way, but instead of contact, he made people miss. Like, I don't even think he was touched once. And the kid at least avoided 5 defenders. So he looks, honestly, if Sire Gaines doesn't come back for whatever reason, or if he's out a long time, injury bug, whatever it is, it could be Malik Sherrod, Breezy Dubar combo. And if Sire Gaines does come back, I think it's Gaines and Sherrod. I really do not think Breezy can keep up with Malik Sherrod. I think Breezy had a tough day today. So Malik is RB2 pushing RB1A, 1B situation. He looked fantastic.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, he was great. Number 3, wide receiver room is banged up, and we just need more. Chris Marshall was hurt. Austin Bolt was hurt. I don't think I'm breaking any sort of news here. This was already reported, hopefully. No, it was. Spencer Danielson already talked about this, I'm free to talk about this. Yeah. Neither of them played. And besides Cameron Bates, I really don't think there was much else to it. There just was not that many. There's a kid, a walk-on number 49. He made a good catch, but I mean, it was just one leaping catch. Anybody that showed any sort of consistency was Cameron Bates, and that's it. Matt Miller told media that they need to go into the portal to get some wide receivers, and they do. They desperately do. Multiple times I caught myself checking the roster just to see who the hell just caught the ball, because it wasn't obvious to me.
Yeah, and we don't want to line up all the true freshmen at wide receiver. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, so we need transfer wide receivers for the offense. That is the number one offensive need.
Well, and you'll see post-spring some guys hit the portal and some guys become available. So we'll see what the coaching staff can bring in.
Yeah. Number 4 was injuries to the offensive line and wide receivers. I kind of already talked about it. Mason Randolph was confirmed to not have played today because of a bicep injury. So Zach Holmes was taking first team snaps. Second team was Tafu, recent recruit, Tafu.
From Bishop Gorman, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Stewart. I think his brother Ocean was in.
Yes, I believe he was there for a visit. Tafu had a rough day. There were some rough snaps from him, but I think he's a true freshman, so I'm not going to hold it against him. But overall, injuries seem to be holding back the offensive line and wide receiver room a little bit. It's a spring game. They have all summer to get healthy. I'm not too concerned about it. And, the final takeaway.
Just got a rehab.
Yep. Final takeaway is the running back room is going to be by committee. Spencer Danielson after the game said that they're going to try to do 50-50, but they are going to run. This team is going to run. Just because Ashton Genty isn't there doesn't mean the game plan is going to change, at least from what I saw.
I think Potter still wants to keep that the identity of the
team. Think Potter wants to pound the ball because Dylan Riley was running great. Malik Sherrod was running great. Dubar wasn't running the best, but he had his own.
Yeah, we've got like this Moneyball situation. Like, how do you replace Jason Giambi in the aggregate?
They are going to replace Jeanty in the aggregate. It honestly
Absolutely.
would not surprise me if there's 2,000-yard rushers and somebody's close behind them. If we have a good season, we're going to have a lot of guys getting a lot of yards. So I think the running back room is going to be by committee, and I think it's going to work well. There wasn't a lot of passing today, I think just because it's a spring game. But, yeah.
I'm going to wait until was that number 5 for offense?
That was number 5. If you have any questions, I can answer them.
No, well, I do have one because you mentioned passing the ball. Wasn't the very first play a trick play?
It was a attempted trick
A
play.
failed trick play. Yeah.
Yes, they threw it to Ben Ford, and I could see what they were trying to do. He tried to pump it. It just didn't work. It was a fancy way to open the game. That was the only trick play. The rest of it was bread and butter.
Well, I think it's kind of Boise State. That's how we took down all those Giants. Like, it's nice to see a little trickeration, a little creativity come back, some gadgets, because we're not always the biggest, fastest, strongest team on the field. We're close. So how do you beat them? You outsmart them. So I don't know. I'm totally fine with Nate Potter throwing in a little trickeration. And have we lost Karter?
Damn it!
He's still there, audibly.
I don't know.
That happened before we recorded.
There we go. I don't know why it keeps happening. Got to see my little bunny cage behind me. There's a rabbit back there.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened. Sorry about that. Yeah, and a little side note, if anybody's curious about Maddox Matson, he did not play that much, but he looked like Maddox. So he's
controlled
QB1.
setting.
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to play. It's like NFL preseason.
It's a very sanitized version.
Yes.
There
was bread and butter offense. I think the longest pass was
and that had a 20-yarder. I know that.
He had a 20-yarder to Cameron Bates, and Bates was wide open. I mean, not anybody around him in 15 yards. There were some attempted passes deep, but I can't think of anything past 30 yards, maybe.
Oh, and so just not to interrupt before you get to the defense, but I did take a look. Kevin is teasing online on the Bronco Corral. He says Monday is going to be a good day.
Yep, I bet we get some commits there. There's a lot of people there. It's a good environment. It was just a good time.
There's at least one known commit, but he will not say anything. It's the kid's going to announce. So,
Kevin locks it down. Kevin knew about Jackson Presley a week before it happened. He's not going to tell anybody.
Yeah. So look for that on Monday, or sometimes later. Sometimes kids they delay or whatnot, but like as early as Monday.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll have good news.
Any other questions about the offense you guys can think of? I can try my best before we move to defense.
You said tight end, like Louder wasn't used a ton. There wasn't a lot of tight end.
Bothwell, the kid from Villanova, he had a nice seam catch. It was pretty impressive. But I didn't hear Louder at all. I'm not even sure he played. I don't know why you would play him. He might have been suited up, but yeah, tight ends not used much from what I saw.
About penalties and stuff like that, just
average spring game. There was a holding on a Dylan Riley run that should have counted for a touchdown. There was some false starts. Average, working out the bugs, nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. All in all, sounds good. All right, let's hit the defense.
Yeah, so moving on to the defense, number one, I thought the defensive line looked great. They were running through holes and making tackles, especially David Latu, who just followed me on
about him. Yeah.
Just followed me on X. Shout out, David. And Michael Madre, he was making some plays too. D-line.
Madre?
Good. Madre?
Madre?
Madre is mother in Spanish.
Madre. Yes.
I don't know how to spell it.
Whatever.
Madre. I don't know.
He killed it. He was.
Someone help us here. Someone help us out.
Yeah. Somebody tell us how to say it. But he was killing it too. Those two were great. I had trouble hearing names sometimes, so there was multiple sacks. Some by linebackers, but the D line was getting after it. They looked good. I don't know about depth on the offensive line, but that D line had some juice to it today.
Speaking of that, so I'm sorry if you're going to touch on this, but didn't Jake Ripp switch back from the edge position where he'd previously been slated to take Andrew Simpson's spot as linebacker, and he was rushing the passer from that inside linebacker
believe
Yeah, I
position?
so.
saw
I
his
think
name mentioned a few
yeah.
times on that.
Yeah.
I think that happened. Again, I couldn't see names, but I heard some rumblings that was going on.
Yeah. One thing I'm curious on: are the linebackers a part of your list there?
Yeah, I got a linebacker number 4. I got 2 linebackers I'm going to call out specifically.
Okay. Then I'll wait to the end because that's something I've been curious on. Because
Yeah.
we've got I feel like we've got an embarrassment of riches there.
Yeah, no, we got some good stuff. Number 2 is secondary unknown. Really wasn't tested. Like, we just don't know. I don't know how it's going to look. There wasn't a lot of passing. There were some short passes that they broke up. I think there was an interception. Maybe that might have been during a 7-on-7 when it didn't count. Just not a lot happened. So can't really do anything.
Yeah,
So
we'll hear
don't
more
be
about
looking.
those incoming transfers in the fall as
Yeah.
things kind of start to get settled.
What does bum me out is that they don't have the big fall game anymore. Like when I was a freshman, my very first experience is just walking onto the blue and watching Kellen Moore in a fall game and them looking crisp and ready to go before they took on Georgia. That was fun, and like it does bum me out that they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, gotta protect the goods though. Can't let
Yep.
people see. Number 3 really isn't anything but the entire defense. They've taken some lumps with transfers and stuff, but it really seemed like they were blending well. It really seemed like there was a lot of chemistry. When someone made a good play, like people rallied to the guy who made the play and congratulated him. Did their little whatever college kids do nowadays, swords, seatbelts, whatever, flexing, whatever the hell. But
They dap each other up.
yeah, they were having a good time. They seem to really have good chemistry.
Well,
So
that
was just
bodes
nice
well
to see.
that a lot of those guys haven't been together very long on the same team, and if they're
Yeah.
they're gelled and meshing.
They were gelling.
Yeah.
Well
They
enough
looked like they were
early.
gelling.
And testament to the recruiting.
Yeah. No, they were
Yeah,
having a good time.
sure.
They're definitely having a good time. Number 4, mixture of Martineau and Chase Martin had a really good. Yep, they had good games. I heard from them multiple times. I believe. God, I don't know how to say his first name, but Brackett.
Sincere
Brackett.
Sincere Brackett.
Yeah.
He played a little bit too. I heard some good things about him. Linebacker group just looked good. There was a lot of stuffed runs, but also a lot of broken runs. So,
Yeah.
50-50.
Did
But
they sit Marco? Was he sitting mostly?
I didn't hear anything about Notrinani, whatever, however you say it. There's a bunch of hard names. But yeah, he must have been sitting, or maybe he got some reps, but not
Kind
much.
of like starters across the board. Everyone just kind of sanitized, as Evan said, sanitized.
Yeah,
That's my word of the week.
Sanitized. And finally, Chenander's not going to stop blitzing. There was heavy blitzes. The quarterbacks were running for their lives during this spring game. And I think the offensive line were trying their best. I think it was second and third string guys. So, grain of salt. But quarterbacks were running. These guys were getting in the backfield.
I mean, we talk about the offense having an identity with Potter wanting to run the ball. I think that's Chenander's identity. He wants to.
Yeah, he wants to get after
the offense uncomfortable.
He wants to get after, and they did. They looked good. Those blitzes were looking crisp. There was some stunts. There was a lot going on, and they were getting to the quarterback.
Well, anything is better than the Avalos era of sit back and just we'll meet you at the 20.
Yeah, that's not going to happen with Chin. We might get beat deep, but you're going to get an 8-man blitz to the face to do it.
Yeah, you're going to take a shot to the chin doing it.
Yeah, and that's it. Anything else you guys want to know about the defense from what I saw?
It'll be interesting to see linebacker-wise how things shake out because there's some really talented young kids, which you don't want to lose Simpson, but it's going to give some of these younger kids a chance to step up and play.
Yeah.
So
and I think we got the talent, and I think we're still at the level of play of the Mountain West and our schedule, how it looks this year, that, you get some proper development, get some proper games before that Notre Dame game. I mean, really, after Notre Dame, what's the toughest game? It's maybe UNLV, but everything else is more developmentary. So I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. So hopefully right back in that spot for winning the Mountain West title and hopefully that bid.
Yep, I think so. I think there might be some drop off, but I can't really say.
I don't know about drop off. It's just it has to look different because the identity has changed. You have a new offensive coordinator who wants to throw the ball a little bit more, be closer to 50-50. We're going to still run the ball. We have a defense that took a lot of lumps last year that needed to rebuild itself after losing virtually the entire defensive line. You've got it has to look different. I don't think it's going to look worse or better. We don't. Hopefully, it looks better. But there's a lot of talent. They gotta figure out how it's all going to blend together, how it's all going to mesh together. But to this point right now, today, April 19th, they have recruited guys that generally gel and mesh extremely well. Like the one flyer they took was Chris Marshall a year ago, and because he'd been kicked out of a couple schools, they took a risk on him, and he's been nothing but a model citizen, at least so far, from what we've heard.
Well, and it hasn't been easy. He's had to sit on the side and be injured, and so
it's
he can get it figured out.
They've got a strong culture. They're able to pick each other up, and they bring guys in that at least they think won't upset the apple cart. So, I'm quite optimistic. So thank you, Karter. Last little bit to talk about, and actually, before I get to this last segment here, fans, viewers, leave your questions for Karter. Leave any comments in the section. Like, let's get some discourse going. Let's have a little fun. It's April. Like, we've got a long.
I will answer any question that anybody posts to the best.
If there's enough, we could maybe do another mailbag, guys.
Oh,
yeah. You know what? Yeah. Next one could be a mailbag.
That could be really fun. Yeah, actually, like it's post spring game, little mailbag for answering your spring questions, and then pretty soon we're going to be getting into like top 10 like list season, that kind of stuff, like predict the depth
preseason
chart.
Trophy watch season. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, after the spring game, the season comes up fast. I remember after the spring game with Malachi Nelson, I was like, God, it's going to take forever to get to this season with like how Nelson looked and how excited for Jeanty, and then all of a sudden the season was over. So spring game's over, but that season's right around the corner.
Leave us a comment, guys. We want to hear from you.
Well, moving on to the last little segment. Here's the NFL draft. I am flying to Milwaukee on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we're taking an NFL-sponsored bus from Milwaukee, the 112 miles to Green Bay, Wisconsin, where the draft will be held, and Ashton Genty will be there in person. So I'm going to be repping Boise State, not my Seattle Seahawks. I might buy a Seahawk jersey or something. I don't know. But I will be in the blue and orange, and I'll be as close to the stage as I can get. We're taking a quick look, and those stage seats, those are like $1,000, and I'm not too rich for my blood. Yeah. So I'm going to get as close as I can. I'm going to have photos, videos of all the revelry. If I get a chance to snap a photo with Ashton Genty, that'd be great. I'm not counting on it. He's going to be a busy man, but there's a good chance I at least consider whatever team he's going to get drafted by, which we're going to make our final predictions here. I might buy that jersey.
I almost spoiled mine. So,
well, I think Chase and I are thinking the exact same thing. So. I'll be the contrarian though. So
I'm not fixing it.
Viewers, I really hope you're not wearing headphones right now.
I don't know why it did that. I'm not fixing it. I'm just going to be I'm just going to be a floating logo from now on.
Perfect.
I'll worry about it later.
All right. Okay, so anyways, there's 4 teams that have reported interest in Ashton Genty. The New England Patriots have the earliest shot at him at the 4th pick. The Las Vegas Raiders.
Oakland Raiders. What is this? The 90s?
The Las Vegas Raiders at pick number 6. Pick 6. The Bears at pick 10. And the Denver Broncos are, I forget, they're somewhere in the 20s, but there's rumors that they'd be willing to even trade up. So Denver might be in the mix here. Those are the 4 teams that seem to have that level of interest. Chase, go ahead. I think we are absolutely in agreement
Yeah.
of where you think he's going to land.
Genty won't fall out of the top 10. If
No.
the only chance the Broncos have of getting him is if they trade up higher than the Raiders, because he's going to the Raiders.
Yeah.
I think the fourth pick is too early for a running back, especially when you can go snag one off of a wire or a trading or some free agent. It's a little high, but I do not see him getting past 6 at the Raiders.
Yeah, I agree. I'll be contrarian, and I'll say Mike Vrabel is going to
do it.
He's gonna pull the trigger.
Yeah, he'll see that generational talent just sitting right there and be like, I need D-line, I need O-line. Nah, we'll get it later. Let's go. So New England Patriots at number 4. I'll roll with that. I finished almost last in our bracket challenge for a reason. So Riverboat Gambler, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the Patriots could take him, but I think they got bigger issues. Yeah, I think it's the Raiders. I mean, the general manager and Pete Carroll basically came out the other day and asked the question of why do people think taking a running back so high is a bad thing? Basically,
he's setting the stage,
setting the foundation of, hey, we're going to take a running back early. So he's going to be a Raider.
And he will be the highest picked Boise State player ever.
Yeah. He's going to be a Raider. There's no doubt about it. Pete Carroll's going to ride that horse till it dies.
He sees a Marshawn Lynch type guy. He wants to get him,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's going to be a Raider unless somehow New England decides they want to piss off their entire fan base. Or the Broncos give up picks and move ahead.
To move up there.
Yeah, I don't know how they'll do it, but he's going to be a Raider unless somebody decides to do something crazy.
And can I just say how much fun this coming NFL season is about to be? Because you've got whoever you root for. Chase is a 49er fan. I'm a Seahawk fan. Karter doesn't care. But you've got the New Orleans Saints and Kellen Moore, who maybe they're interested. Who knows? That they've got the 10th pick. Or no, they've got the 9th pick. They could trade up. Who knows?
Yeah.
But okay, Kellen Moore in New Orleans. You got Ashton Genty to the Raiders, and then you've got Boise State players scattered all about. It's Khalil Shakir on the Bills. It's a good time to be a Bronco fan, watching all our stars in the NFL. So it's gonna be a fun season.
Plus, if he goes to the Raiders, man, that's not a far drive to. Not too bad.
I'm not paying those Allegiant Stadium prices.
My cousin and my sister and my aunt live down there, so I'll probably go blow a bunch of money and watch a game.
They just need an offensive line.
Yeah. I mean, this will be the most I ever pay attention to an NFL season because of the Saints and because of Jeanty.
Now, real quick, do you guys want to try and make a prediction on Ahmed Hassanein?
Oh,
let's do it.
Yeah, I think so. I'm thinking 7th round. Chase, do you think any higher?
I think he's going to go undrafted free agent, and he'll get a good chunk of change to sign on a team and get a chance in a preseason camp.
Okay, where are you thinking?
Those teams that can take a flyer on a guy like that are teams that already have some guys who are pretty well solidified at that position. I could see the Niners. I could see the Commanders. One of those teams.
I'm actually thinking Arizona or Miami.
Yeah.
Because I think I saw Miami was talking with Ahmed. I think that. Oh no, was it someone else? Uh-oh.
Well, what's interesting about the 7th round pick versus undrafted free agent is at least undrafted. To a certain extent, you can pick. You have a choice of a few teams.
You're not just stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I do have an actual pick here. But Karter, who do you think?
I've seen enough hype around him, enough of the draft so-called experts talking about him. I think he could go 6th or 7th round.
Plus the story of being the first Egyptian-born player.
Because I think towards the end of the draft, teams are like, okay, we've really gotten what we wanted. What can we maybe take a bet on? And
it's a value pick.
Yeah, I think, first Egyptian player to ever be drafted, all Mountain West defensive end. Like, hey, let's see what happens. Let's see what the guy can do. So
Yeah.
I think 6th or 7th. I don't think he escapes the draft. If he does, he'll have plenty of offers to choose from.
So I'm thinking. So Atlanta is a team that needs to address their pass rush, and they're already mocked to drafting, or at least a few mocks, getting some edge rushers. I think maybe in like their last pick or something like that, or even undrafted, Atlanta is a team that takes a flyer on a developmental kid out of Egypt, the first Egyptian-born player out of Boise State. I think Atlanta might give him a shot. So that's who I'm going to lock in. Atlanta Falcons, whether it be, I'll go 7th round.
Perfect.
Karter at
Alrighty.
team.
Cowboys.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Because they like Broncos.
They do like and they just lost DeMarcus.
They just lost
Lawrence.
DeMarcus Lawrence. He's gonna
So
Ahmed Hassanein is gonna come in and replace him.
There we go.
All right. Well, viewers, thank you so much for watching. Please leave us comments, questions. If we get enough, we might put together another mailbag, and that can be our next episode.
And that's all sorts of fun.
Yeah, ask us all of your Boise State questions, whether that's pertaining to the spring game or just general musings, queries, whatever you have. But as I said, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back when we can. I know we said every other week, but it's the off season. It's kind of feast or
boring.
famine. Yeah. So
have fun at the draft, Evan. Happy Easter, everyone.
Yep. Yes, sir.
And go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.